Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sesh Grand Prix. I'm your host, Raveheart, here as always. My best friend, my partner in crime, my co-host, Taylor Surreal. How's it going,
My
buddy?
man, it's going well. I'm glad to be back. It's been too long.
Yes, it has been a minute,
Whew.
but we are
I don't know what
here.
to do with my Sundays.
Yeah,
What
dude,
what what, what do we do?
it's been rough. It has been a rough couple weeks, but in the intervening time, in the summer break, we're coming to you with a new idea here on the Sesh, calling it Puff Puff Past. These are the best F1 history, stories, crazy shit, whatever. The stuff you would think we made up when we were high.
But we didn't, and it's real.
Yes. So, first one we're going to be going into. This is one we're calling Thank You for Smoking. It's F1's complicated relationship with big tobacco. Also happened to be the thing that has given both of us our favorite liveries in F1, so we figured we'd cover that first. But let's start at the beginning. We got 1950. Formation of Formula One. These are the beginning of what I'm calling the Dark Ages. It's the days before sponsored liveries. Back when we had like national racing colors. It's like the rules back in that time was like only the manufacturers and the commercial and technical sponsors got to put their names on the car. So like tires, gas, and obviously the manufacturer logos. You had the
Very limited, very bare
yeah,
vehicles.
kind of boring.
Kind of
So
boring, and to a modern day viewer, they'd be a little confused. It would be like, "What? Why
yeah,
is the car so empty? I don't understand."
basically be like, okay, so are these guys amateurs that just built this shit at home and decided that
They
they're gonna
they
roll
don't
it
have
out
any
here?
sponsors.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? You know they can sell that right there. Do they know that? Like, no, they at that time they couldn't.
At that time they hadn't really worked that out yet. But so at that point, basically all the liveries consisted of national racing colors. So we had Germany, they were silver. And you'll see like pop up Mercedes, whatever up there.
Of
We
course,
had blue for France,
of
which
course,
so yeah, the anytime you see that bright blue Bugatti in some press image, that it's blue for a reason.
and it looks so good in my
Yeah,
opinion. Oof,
especially when they pair it with like the black, like the red from their logo just pops.
oh,
So good.
oh, so good.
So UK, yeah, green or British Racing Green. My favorite color, like ever, as you can tell by the logo. Um, we had Italy or red with red or Rosso Corsa.
So of course, so of course.
Um, Japan with white, championship white as we know it now, and then the USA, which was white with blue stripes or blue with white stripes. And we're gonna flash up a picture right now of the only Ferrari to ever run without the Rosso Corsa base color. And that was because apparently Enzo was in a beef with the FIA over something,
Oh
and
yes, yes.
he wanted the Italian Motorsport Federation to back him up. And when they said they wouldn't, he was like, "All right, my Ferraris are never running in Rosso Corsa ever again."
Mm-hmm.
And when they sent the team over for the U.S. Grand Prix, they ran it in the livery of the like U.S. team that was basically putting all the Ferrari shit together for them. And yeah, they won. They won that race. I think the constructors' championship that year with the blue and white Ferrari livery. And then like the Italian Motorsport Federation was basically like, all right, he's not. He's fucking serious. We got to back him. We can't lose Ferrari. But yeah, so in 1967, I'm gonna fast forward here a little bit. There was a seismic shift that went on in F1, and it was They were losing corporate sponsors. They were losing basically their outside source of cash.
Mm-hmm.
And they decided to loosen up those rules a little bit to let everybody try and get these people to come back to the table. And one of the things they loosened the rules on was like advertising on the cars. Now,
Which it seems like at that time was really, they were really conservative with advertising at all.
yeah,
Like they
it was
didn't,
like it was real subtle.
it wasn't like they didn't know about, oh, we could make money here. No, they knew, they just didn't want to do it. They wanted just specific manufacturers, tire companies, the fuel companies.
They didn't want
They
people
were kind
making
of
too much money.
preventing, yeah, they were preventing this from happening. But then they just decided, let's open it up.
And I have a feeling that they thought that it wasn't going to hit the point that it did. Like there was definitely oh, I'm sure they'll be conservative with this shit. Like they're not going to
Right.
go absolutely nuts with the
Sell every square inch of the vehicle.
If somebody should do that. Like Hash should just like sell like little ad space on like we could buy a fucking ad on the Haas car for one of the races. Like
That would be hilarious. And it's just a
that
picture of us like,
be a great way to get Gunter Steiner to shut up about the fucking, budget. Like if you watch Drive to Survive, you know what I'm talking about. He's always griping about not having enough money. But yeah. So with this loosening of the rules, the great F1 innovator, Colin Chapman,
my man.
I'm not saying that he's alive in Argentina and not actually died of a heart attack, but whatever. But yeah, he decided was like, all right, well, it's the classic F1 thing. It's like, well, the rules say I can do this, but you never said I couldn't do this.
Exactly.
And ended up selling the livery deal to Imperial Tobacco for £86,000. I don't know. We only do dollars, but I would imagine that's worth a lot more money now.
Correct.
But that livery actually, I guess it debuted in New Zealand and nobody really gave a shit, but it wasn't a championship race. And then in 68, like Monaco is where it really debuted. And as you could probably predict, everyone lost their shit.
All eyes were on Monaco, of course.
As
and boom,
always.
out comes this car decked in Imperial Tobacco.
Yeah, it's like they decided to paint like the pack of gold leaf cigarettes, which not a brand I've ever seen, but apparently red, white, and gold, not a bad combo. But yeah. BBC wasn't real happy about it.
No, they were not. Matter of fact, some may say outraged.
That's the BBC. It's like they're not allowed to say like duct tape or whatever. It's like they're not allowed to use brand names and shit. They have to come up with like different names for stuff. That's why like on Top Gear they had like on that endurance race episode.
Through Africa?
Or no, the one they did at Silverstone. And it was like they had Larson's biscuits. Basically they had the like stickers lined up on it so when you opened up the door it said ass biscuits. Yeah. Jeremy Clarkson's a fucking legend.
Legend.
But yeah. And basically that's when the floodgates open. It's like that's what led into what we're calling the Age of Icons. It's where Taylor and my favorite liveries came from. And that's like the heyday of cigarette advertising in F1. And yeah, we will be back to talk to you about that in part 2. Thank you guys for watching. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, click the bell, all that bullshit. I've been Raveheart. He has been my co-host, Taylor Surreal. And we will see you guys in the next one. Adios.